Well, let's talk, kind of start wrapping up, and let's talk a little bit about accomplishments that you feel that you've had over the last almost 4 years.
Well, I think that the buy local ordinance that gives local and Indiana-based companies a little bit of a leg up in city purchasing, I think that was I'm very proud of that, because I think that that's recycling money. Back on my concept of economic development, that is recycling money within the region. So if we are spending locally raised tax dollars with local employees and local businesses, then that has a lot more benefit to our community than if we send all that money out of state. The garbage contract I'm really proud of, and we have worked on a new program, a new type of recycling that has doubled participation. I mean, I think everybody knew, all of us involved in it knew that it was going to be successful, but I didn't anticipate doubling participation. And related to that then is the ability to cut user fees by over $1 million a year. That is money that we don't need to collect from you and me and everybody else every month. So that's really exciting to have that kind of success. And because our recycling is less expensive than our garbage, which did not used to be the case, the more we recycle, and so we've doubled recycling, but there's still a third of the people in town don't recycle at all. If we can continue to increase that, then that continues to cut everybody's costs. So very exciting, and I'm really pleased at how well accepted that's been, and crusty people that I know who don't love anything have said, "Oh, I love my recycling bin," and that's kind of fun to hear. So so that's another one. I'm proud of the work that I did with the Board of Works, and again, this is something where initially I had kind of a disagreement with the administration over how to reduce speed limits in residential neighborhoods, inside of neighborhoods. But it was something that we worked with the Board of Works on, and they changed their policy. Got a lot of neighborhood input from each of the area partnerships, and then obviously especially from the folks I represent, but we went to all of the different area partnerships to get feedback. So that neighborhoods now have a greater ability to reduce their speed limit. They can petition essentially the Board of Works to do that. And I'm very proud that the first neighborhood that chose to do that was in the 2nd District, which was Riverbend Woods. So I'm proud of them out there for making that happen. I've done an awful lot of just plain old constituent work, and you know, some of those are just getting, you know, an alley light put up somewhere. Probably the most interesting of those was a fountain of sewage that I was able to get stopped. It was on a construction site, and it had been a damaged sewer line, and by the time the neighbors called me, this had been going on for several days, and I didn't know about it, and apparently no one else was able to get it stopped, and I was able to get it stopped. So so that was good. So those kind of constituent things, which are not really glamorous, but to me are the bread and butter of what a district council person should do. I mean, I want people to call me when they have problems like that, because government should work for our citizens, and sometimes it doesn't for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it's as simple as people don't ask, and sometimes it's more complicated than that. But I like to be able to work on those kinds of issues for people. And then most recently, I do think that that we will not be raising the levy next year, and I'm, you know, pleased to have had kind of an instigator role in that.
Many years actually working in the city. Now you're at the council table. Anything that you've learned? Anything that's been kind of an eye opener for you?
Well, this is a stupid thing to say, because it should have been so self-evident. I didn't realize just how legislative the city council was. And what I mean by that is, you know, I just always thought as a staff person that, you know, you have whatever proposal it is, or, you know, a contract or whatever, and you go down, and if it makes sense, they'll approve it, and if it doesn't, they won't, you know, whatever, and that's easy. But when you're trying to persuade people of things, it's persuasion, and it's one-on-one persuasion to each member. So so that's probably been the biggest eye-opener to me, and I learned that with the initial buy local ordinance, which did fail. I mean, I could not get 5 votes for it. None of the Republicans supported it at all. And then finally, the second time around, I was smarter and was able to, again, we had a better ordinance to begin with, and was able to get a little bit of Republican support for helping our local businesses. So that was a good thing. Again, it's almost embarrassing to say that, because I think, well, Karen, it's a city council, it's a legislative body. What did you think, honey? But I hadn't figured it out before.
Sure.